Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm Grace Holland. Internet was restored at about a dozen NCDMV offices after an outage on Monday. The outage comes as the state has been trying to address delays at offices across the state. We've done a lot of reporting about that. And with the REAL ID deadline less than a month away, WRAL's Carly Haynes was at a DMV office during that outage and joins me now. Carly, thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
So, okay, where did these outages happen, and what was it like for you when you went out to one of those offices?
So when we asked the Department of Transportation just how extensive this was, they said 30 of their sites were impacted by the outage, and that includes 12 DMV locations. And we're talking about locations in and around the Triangle. So we had outages in Raleigh, in Cary, in Carrboro, Mount Olive. A lot of people were affected today. And if you've gone to the North Carolina DMV, you know that the lines are always going to be long, but some people were surprised that they were longer than usual today, wrapped around corners. And anytime we do one of these stories where we're going to the DMV, people are frustrated. They have their lawn chairs out, so they're prepared to wait a while.
And has the DMV said what caused this outage?
They said it was a regional AT&T internet outage that was out of their control. They didn't elaborate on the cause of the outage, so we don't know exactly what caused it at this point in the day. For example, if it was a cut cable or anything, but we did reach out to AT&T on that, and they did say that they're looking into it.
And for those people that were waiting in line, some of them with their lawn chairs just prepared to wait, what did they have to say about this?
Well, the outage lasted for about an hour, which might seem pretty short to somebody who's just listening in. But keep in mind there's pushback appointments and delayed walk-ins, so even just 1 hour could make the difference of whether or not somebody's able to go into the DMV today. So it could really have a domino effect. It could mean that somebody can't get an appointment today, and with the grand scheme of all the issues the DMV is facing, could really be problematic for somebody's ability to get into the DMV in a timely manner, for example, before that REAL ID deadline hit.
Okay, let's take a quick break right there and we'll be right back. Carly, before the break, you were kind of explaining this outage, and even though it was only about an hour, the domino effects of it lasted much longer on Monday. And of course, 5 on Your Side has been covering these delays at the DMV for the last few years that haven't even been related to an outage. This was just sort of an extra thing there. What steps has the state been taking to try to address these problems?
You're right. It's not just an internet outage. There have been slowdowns for so many reasons. And previously, the Department of Transportation has cited is some of this outdated tech. But we've seen a lot of issues with slowdowns, people being able to get appointments. Lawmakers know something has to change, but it's been slow going. So for one, the current DMV commissioner, which is Wayne Goodwin, he said he'll step down once the Department of Transportation finds his replacement. They have yet to do so. We know they're interviewing, but that is yet to be established. Also, officials have said they need more money. They need more money for staffing, for that equipment, for new DMV offices. But state lawmakers haven't necessarily supported the budget increases that those officials say are necessary. So there's a lot that still needs to happen.
And, for people that might need to go to the DMV just for any reason, but especially if they need that REAL ID before that deadline that's coming up in less than a month, what do people need to know as far as preparing themselves?
I think if you are expecting to get an appointment sometime soon, change the expectations, unfortunately. We were going on the DMV website today looking for appointments, and we couldn't see nearly a single one over the next 3 months. And the DMV website only allows you to book an appointment within 3 months. So really, walk-ins are going to be your best bet, but as we saw today, they're going to be long lines every time you head in, so be prepared to wait a while and come.
And what did some of the people in line, if they, like you said, they're prepared to wait, but if they wound up waiting on Monday longer than they expected, what repercussions did they have?
Well, even just today, from a firsthand account, we saw people, around 24 people waiting in line for 3.5 hours. They made it to the doors, and then they got turned away. So when I asked them, what are you going to be doing? You didn't get in. And many of them were there for that real ID requirement. They said, well, I'm going to come back first thing tomorrow. So that means some people are taking off of work just to be able to get this appointment. And they're devoted to getting this real ID, as we know it would really impact people's ability to travel. This is a federal mandate now where in order to get on a domestic flight, you need that real ID. So this isn't something that people can put off if they plan to travel in the near.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Carly, and thank you for listening to the WRAL Daily Download and for making us a part of your morning routine. Another great way to get WRAL news is the Morning Briefing newsletter. That's a daily email with Triangle news, events, and headlines to help you get ready for the day. Sign up at WRAL.com/newsletter.